Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King. And today I'm going to be giving you part 4 of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy with an Unknown Bloodline. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Had the Deadliest Bloodline over on Anime King 3. And enjoy that guys. And also, over on Anime King 2, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Rewrote the Past, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time hearing my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support, and yeah, without further ado, what do you say we begin this new episode? Start the intro. So, the last time we left off, some time had passed since Team 8 had become officially Team 8. During this time, Naruto was named to assist them on their missions because they were doing nothing but D-rank missions. When they got a C-rank Kyuubi to assist them, Hinata wasn't loving the idea because her father had been sent Hyuga to keep watch on them, as he did not like the idea of Naruto going out with his daughter for some reason. Well, the man was rather uptight. Perhaps he wouldn't like anyone going out with his daughter. But it was finally time for Team 8 to get a real mission. As for Naruto, he was doing several missions, as he had been going out with other chunins and going out with other jonins as well, as he has been getting the experience. As Alira met up with him, they got a mission to the land of Wave as they made their way. As Naruto never fought, as he watched Team 8 to see their strengths and weaknesses. They were easy able to subdue the Demon Brothers, something that he commended them for. As he came upon Zabuza, Alira told Naruto she will handle it, as she pulled her blade. She and Zabuza fought as she released a technique that was able to incinerate Zabuza's blade. Yes, he was able to completely destroy one of his 7 legendary blades, and not down Zabuza, but the Hunter Nin came. As Naruto noticed something was off, but before he could tap the Hunter Nin and stop her or him from taking Zabuza's body, Alira fell, as Naruto had to catch her. She had used up too much of her chakra in that attack, as he had brought her back to the house, as Naruto was late to discover that there was a needle in her neck that had put her out of commission, so Team 8 would have to be the one to protect Tazuna. When the days finally came to an end, as a lot had happened in these, Shino had said that not everyone is interested in girls, by accident, as he was merely talking to himself. As he realized, he said it out loud, and everyone was looking at him, as Kiba had been making some jokes about it. But despite that, he jumped right into the battle when the battle came to protect Shino's life against Haku. As Naruto was angry, as Zabuza had used his attack to hit Hinata, as she was trying to protect Azuna, and it knocked her with coal, as Naruto got furious on the bridge. As he moved forward, a simple touch. Lucky enough, Haku got in the way, as Naruto released a death touch technique, a seal on Haku, as it turned Haku into dust instantly. If that had touched Zabuza, he would have died. And Naruto's bloodline finally activated. His eyes turned green and a seal flashed in front of his eyes. His eyes went through thousands of seals as he landed on the weighted seal, and somehow the seal got placed on Zabuza's body as it anchored him down to the ground. As Naruto saw Gato and his thugs appeared, Zabuza has always been told by Haku that he wanted to die by saving his life. As he looked over towards the dust of Haku, the ashes, as he asked Naruto to gather them and put them anywhere he might rest. He was already badly wounded from Naruto fighting earlier, and Zabuza, if he was gonna do one thing, he was gonna take down Gato, who was gonna betray him anyway, as Naruto gave Makunai. He then wiped out the entire front force before stabbing right into Gato killing him. The thugs then turned their attention towards the rest of the bridge. But Inir and the other thugs came. But not only that, Naruto was gonna kill each and every one of them if they made a move. The thugs realized that they were outmatched, so they decided to run. They ran for their life. So yeah guys, that's basically what I thought. If you guys can switch across and play check it out for yourself. So let's begin this new episode. We begin this a few days after the fall of Zabuza and the death of Gato as well, and some of his thugs and Haku. Alira, Kiba, Hinata, Shino, and Naruto stood in front of the bridge that was now complete, as Kazuna was standing in front of them, as he remembered a conversation that he had with Naruto about that technique that Naruto used. Kazuna-san, what you saw is a sealing jutsu that has long been forgotten. It was made to destroy part of the body. I swear I never used it, but I got out of control, said Naruto, as he remembered turning the hunter nin into dust. You cannot tell anyone what you saw. The seal is much too powerful. You and your family might be in danger, people hunting for this information, so you have to keep it to yourself. Kazuna nodded, as he wouldn't say a thing. What about your eyes? I mean, that wasn't common either, was it? My eyes? What do you mean, said Naruto. Kazuna was confused. Well, they became green with slits, with a kanji for seal in the center, and the slit was red. I had never seen eyes like that before. Oh, that's a secret, said Naruto. Kazuna realized he was not going to get anything out of the boy. I won't tell a soul, he said. I expect nothing less, said Naruto. In the flashback, as the group waved goodbye, as they were going back to Konoha. Wait, what are we gonna name the bridge? Asked Inari, as Kazuna remembered what Inari had told him. Kiba, as Kiba was the one that gave Inari back his courage and his hope, and just like that Inari was able to gather everyone and gave this village back something they lost for a very long time. Hope. I say we name it the Great Kiba Bridge in honor of that boy, inspiring everyone back to fight for their home. The crowd cheered at that. The next day was in grief. A distance away, the proud hero was walking. I'm tired, I'm hungry, and my feet hurt. When are we gonna get back home, Kiba whined. It was gonna be a long journey back home. Time skip. It took 3 days to get back. Something was wrong. Alira could only walk. This was not common for one chakra reserve to take this long to restore. The moment they got back, she was taken to the hospital. After that, Shino and Kiba said their goodbyes as they went off, as their sensei was out of commission, so they had no missions to do for the rest of the day, and not to mention they just came back from a long mission. On the other hand, Naruto was there. You had me worried, he said, as he even went as far as to prop her pillar up and lean her down in the bed when she wanted to move a bit. Naruto, I can take care of myself, she said. However, that needle did a number on me. I'm just glad that you were there to pick up the slack, she said. Otherwise, things would have gone really bad. Well, you don't have to worry anymore, said Naruto. You just have to rest now, so you can get back into top shape. She nodded as she leaned her head down. She decided to get some sleep. After 5 minutes of just lying there, she couldn't sleep as she opened her eyes, as Naruto was still there. What are you still doing here? Well, I wanted to make sure you got to sleep okay, but that doesn't look like it's gonna happen, he said. The nurse was curious why her chakra wasn't being restored as well. She think that there must be some kind of poison on the needle, but they didn't find anything in your system. They called the Hokage to see what he thought. Ah, I see. Well, it will take a while. He must have a lot to do, she said, as they started to engage in some small talk until Naruto asked a question out of the blue. Alira, do you know who my parents were, he said, as she was surprised by the question. No, I don't, she said. The only person that might know is Hokage. She was curious. Why do you want to know, she said. This was the first time he was ever asking that question, while asking her. Before he could say anything, the door opened up as two people walked in, one of them being the Hokage and the other one being Neji Hyuga. As Naruto knew him, being around Hinata a lot, he met this guy, Neji Hyuga. He always spoke about fate, like the entire world was run by fate. which was rather stupid. He had one of those seals on his head, like most branch members, which kept him in line with the main family. But that was one of the things that Naruto hated the most. The idea of slavery, for someone to command someone like they own them. Wearing a white yukata with long hair, he looked kind of feminine, but there was always this look on his face that seemed to just piss you off for some reason. As Naruto remembered their first time meeting each other, it was 2 months ago, at the lake near Training Ground 7, as Hinata and Naruto was just sitting down, having a good time. As Naruto's eyes started to twitch, he slowly started to reach for something, as he found a nice sizable stone, before he threw it. As someone came out of their hiding spot. "Who are you?" said Naruto. The person looked down towards him. "I am Neji Hyuga, her cousin, Prodigy, of the branch family." "A bit arrogant, wouldn't you say?" said Naruto. "You aren't one to be talking. I heard some things about you and your missions. Your headstrong tendencies. But your dream though, that is the one thing that interests me. You have no bloodline, no particular talent, and yet you think you will be Hokage, but it's futile. You do realize that fate decides who will be Hokage, right?" "Fate? What does fate have to do with anything?" said Naruto. "I work myself to the bone to get stronger. I choose my own fate." "You are wrong. Fate is determined at the birth. My father's fate was decided the moment his twin brother left the womb first, and for that he died. You cannot escape your fate or change it. And as an orphan, you have no chance. The fourth Hokage was an orphan, and yet he became Hokage. What makes you believe I can't change my own path?" said Naruto. "Don't answer that," said Naruto, "because it doesn't matter. If you believe so much in fate, I'll just change that." Neji shook his head, clearly annoyed in anger. "You cannot change mine more than you can change your own. The main branch oppress us, yet you openly help them. They make us slave, but you have fun with them. Tell me, what does it feel like to be free?" His voice is filled with nothing but malice and hate, as Neji looked towards the both of them angrily, hoping that this thing between them could be over so he can stop watching them. "I may not know your particular hardship," said Naruto, "but I know your pain." "You know nothing," Neji said. He didn't give Naruto a chance to say anything else, as he slipped back in the shadows. In the flashback, as Neji scowled when he saw the boy, the man knew nothing of his pain. Taken in by the Hokage and trained, he knew nothing of pain. He had no family, yes, but still, he had the Hokage as a substitute. He had love. Even without parents, the boy was special, and yet he claimed to know Neji's pain. "Hinata, I'm here to bring you back to the manor. Your father wishes to speak with you." Before they could leave though, Hiruzen spoke. "Neji, we're having trouble with Alira here. Would you please examine her?" Complying, Neji focused as he activated his Byakugan. He had to focus really intensely, going down to the finer, smaller details, because there was something wrong, but it was small. As he saw there was a foreign chakra disrupting the flow in her chest, and her coils were damaged smallly in several places. No wonder she was bedridden. A civilian would have died instantly. There is a foreign chakra disrupting her flow in her chest and right arm, and at her neck as well. The pathways are not able to reconstruct themselves around the foreign chakra, but it is dissipating. By my estimate, the foreign chakra should dissipate in 2 weeks' time, and she will begin healing. He deactivates his Byakugan as Hinata said goodbye to Naruto. As they left, "You will be off active duty until you are fully recovered. Until then, who would you like to serve as your replacement?" "Naruto," Alira said. As Naruto looked towards her in surprise, he knew everyone in her team, but he wasn't a Jonin. Hiruzen was surprised as well, but knowing Naruto, he understood why she made that decision. But he had to speak up. "Listen, Alira, I know he's your good friend and talented, but he's no Jonin. He wouldn't be leading them on anything more than D or C ranks within the Fire Country. I thought you want your team to get more experience." "Yes, and he is plenty capable of leading a team by himself. He defeated Zabuza and Mamakai by himself." "Surely." Naruto cut her off with a clear of his throat though. "I'm afraid that is not exactly true," he said. I have something to tell you. As he looked towards Hiruzen, there was a short pause. I don't believe I defeated Zabuza by myself. As Naruto remembered that rush of power, I think I got help from my tenant, Alira and the Hokage. Narrow their eyes. As Naruto went through Hansan and silenced the room with a silencing seal. As Naruto then spoke once again, I remember I engaged Zabuza in a battle with my elemental staffs. And I remember him attacking Hinata after his apprentice Hawk will land near us after a Jutsu Kiba use. I don't know what happened. Next thing I knew, I was in a giant sewer. And I saw a massive cage. I saw red glowing eyes. It was a fox. We talked. I remember him pushing chakra through the bars. It surrounded me like a tidal wave. It felt like it happened for minutes, but outside in the real world, it was just a second that went by. And that rush of chakra enveloped me. Other than using my disintegration seal. And after a release, my gravity seal that I somehow put on him, I don't remember much. What did it say to you? Asked Hiruzen. Flashback. You take away my daughter. I take away your girl. Water Dragon. As the Water Dragon went towards Hinata, as Naruto's eyes widened, as he watched it hit her and knocked her out, and he lost himself in rage. The next thing he knew, where am I? As he was in a strange sewer. As he looked around confused, the place was dark, incredibly so. You're in my realm, mortal. More specifically, you're mine. As Naruto turned, what the hell? There was a massive cage in front of him. Who are you? He said. You will address me as the great Lord Kyuubi. Kyuubi? Demon Fox? Wait, the fourth Hokage killed it? Or did he seal it away? As Naruto looked down, am I the child? He remembered the scroll that he had read. Am I the child that the fourth Hokage seal the Kyuubi inside of? Yes, you are my vessel. As I said, we're in your mind. Think of it as your mindscape. The rush, the anger. You entered here when your mate was struck. Mate? Do you mean Hinata? Yes. As Naruto's mind snapped into focus, I was brought here because she's in trouble. Yes, the fox said. And you constantly using so much chakra in your battle. I suppose you're running low. Nearly. I have to protect her, said Naruto. Well then. As Naruto watched as sips of red chakra leak from the bar, it came towards him and grabbed him. You may use mine, but keep in mind I'm not being generous. You have gained some of my respect, mortal, by working as you do. But once I'm out of this cage, I will kill you and all that you care for. Before Naruto could even blink, he was thrown back out of the mindscape. But when he did came back out, he saw Zabuza. And he felt the rage, the power. You will never touch Hinata again. Prepare to die, he said. In the flashback, as Hiruzen looked at Naruto, he figured there was no reason to hide anymore. You are the Kyuubi container, a Jinjulke. I assume from that scroll that you saw a few years back, and those sealing techniques of yours, that you probably figure out the rest. Naruto, you're the fourth Hokage's son, and he sealed the Kyuubi into you at birth, at the cost of his life. I'm sorry, but there was no other way for him to stop the beast. As Naruto was quiet for a long minute, as Alira and Hiruzen were starting to get worried, but they didn't say anything. I understand, he said, as Hiruzen watched the boy, as he saw Naruto clench his fist before releasing it. If everyone had known that I was a demon container, I assume that most of them would have hated me, because they would assume that I'm some demon or something, like a few choice clan heads. But seeing that as you took me as your own, I should be really thanking you. Anywhere else I would have been shunned. Plus, I suspected for a while. After all, I can't really ignore the seal that appeared in my stomach whenever I mold chakra. Hiruzen smiled at that. Thank you, he said. I should warn you though. If you can avoid it, don't use that chakra. Because every time you do, you weaken the seal just a little bit more. Since we don't know what will happen if you die, you should only use it as a very last resort. Naruto became thoughtful for a moment. He then realized something else. If the fourth Hokage is my father, then who's my mother, he said. And where's our house? I mean, if my dad was a Hokage, he must have had a house, a training ground, a library, and techniques. As Hiruzen and Lyra watch as Naruto started to trail off, speaking so fast that you could barely hear his mumblings. Calm down, Hiruzen said. I will tell you, when you become Jonin, per his request. You may know who he is, but he believed that you should work to earn your heritage. After all, what kind of shinobi just copies the style of other shinobis before them? Each member of the family contribute to the jutsus, pushing to strive and pass those before them. As Naruto frowned at that, Hiruzen realized that he missed something in his talk with the boy. Naruto, did you just say disintegration seal? I believe I labeled that seal as forbidden. And do you know why it's forbidden? As Naruto looked up towards the old man. Because it's dangerous. Hiruzen frowned as he gave Naruto a glare. Naruto, the last time you did that, you were in the hospital for the most dire case of chakra exhaustion I've ever seen. If it wasn't for the Kyuubi who I suspect is responsible for your massive supply of chakra and your fast healing, you would have been dead. Lyra's face was still in shock as the two spoke to each other. She cleared her throat. I believe there's a very sick, confused person in the room. Stop ignoring me. The both of them turned towards her as they looked sheepish. They completely forgot about her. Hiruzen then turned serious. She was a part of this now. Lyra, I entrust you with the information you just heard. You are not to speak of this to another soul. Out of this room. It is a S rank secret. And for betraying this secret, the punishment is execution. I assume that you will not break this rule, he said. As she saw the steely gaze of the old man, he was still a rather frightening person, as she gave him a quick nod. As he nodded back, Lyra then turned towards Naruto as she remembered something. Naruto, what was wrong with your eyes on the way back? Damn it, Naruto cursed. In his mind, he wanted to keep that secret. Nothing was wrong with them. What do you mean? As Hiruzen saw that he was hiding something, and it got Lyra concerned. Naruto, you have 5 seconds to tell me what is going on before I make you go on D ranks for the rest of the month. Naruto frowned at that, as that was the worst thing to do to him right now. Hey, did my mother or father ever had a bloodline of sorts, he asked. No, said Hiruzen. Not that I'm aware of. Well, I think I have a dojutsu, said Naruto. I found out I can activate it by sending chakra to my eyes. It was still a bit of a new experience to me. So Lyra must have saw it, said Naruto. So far as I can tell, it seems I can project seal onto objects. I figure that's the way they grabbed the seal got onto Zabuza, considering I never wrote it or do anything. Hiruzen was confused. Show it to me, he said. As Naruto sent chakra to his eyes, he then opened them to show green. As there was a kanji in the middle that was red, for seal. Hiruzen examined Naruto's eyes. Interesting, he said. I've never seen or heard of a dojutsu like that before. Something like this will have to be documented, of course. But what do you mean by projecting, he said. As Naruto looked down towards his hand, a modified explosive seal appeared in his hand. See? The seal just appeared as I imagined on my hand, said Naruto. And I can change it. It's like my mind is projecting the image on whatever I want. As Naruto noticed the old man was looking directly at his eyes. What's wrong? Naruto, your eyes. They change with the seals. Right now, the normal rate for a seal is showing the writing of an explosive note. Amazing. You're practically burning images into objects with your mind alone. Naruto looked confused as he went over to the mirror, as he cycled through all the seals that he knew. After cycling through about 50 seals, Naruto noticed there was a small dip in his chakra. If he did this for a long while, it would drain him out. And he realized the more chakra he forced, the longer the range became. After another hour of experimenting with it in the room, they discovered what the normal range was, and what seals Naruto could project. He was even able to sustain the seal for a long while. But doing this constantly, with over 50 seals, it put a damper on him, as he had to stop and take a break. Hiruzen had to be honest. Naruto, with that ability to train and your knowledge of seals, you would be equal to most Jonin in the village. Maybe in a few years, even with me. The Jonin exams is coming up 2 months after the Chunin exams. I believe by then you'll be ready to take the Jonin test. But for now, you will be serving as Team 8 Sensei With that ability, I have no doubt that you can lead them on missions. And for now, just keep that information to people that you trust, and no one else. Here's the intern. Do you intend to send your team to the Chunin exams? Yes, Hokage-sama, Alira said. Well then, Naruto will have to serve as your sensei, considering that the exam is in 2 weeks, and you will be in no shape to serve as your sensei. Naruto, as Hiruzen reached for some form in his robes, give these to Team 8. Team 7, 9, and 10 will also be participating. Train your student for the next 2 weeks. Naruto nodded as he deactivated the sealing barrier as he made his way, saying goodbye. You think my little brother there will make a good Hokage? Are you kidding me, Hiruzen said. It won't take him too long to surpass almost every Jonin in this village. With his reserves, and with this new discovery of a bloodline that I've never seen before in the world, and not to mention his thirst for knowledge, once he gained his hands on his father's study, and if he managed to learn the Harashin, which I know is something that he will be capable of doing, I don't think there is anyone that will be able to stop him. But sir, seeing that he's a 4th Hokage legacy, shouldn't you inform the clans? I mean, I'm not blind, I notice. There are more than a few clans that don't like him because of the Kyuubi. Shouldn't you inform them whose son he is? You're correct, said Hiruzen. For now though, get some rest. I can't have one of my best Jonins out of commission for too long. Wait, Hokage-sama. Yes? Chapter 18, Ichi-Ichi Paradise, Volume 4. That's me, at 18 years old. Hiruzen froze, as he promptly passed out from a nosebleed. A few seconds later, a nurse walked inside. As she looked at the unconscious Hokage, she sighed. I guess you win, as she paid Alira, who will laugh. Elsewhere, Hinata wasn't sure what was going on, as she sat before her father, as she wondered what could have possibly caused him to pay attention to her. The icy silence continued. There was so much tension in the air. It was then that Hayashi spoke. Hinata, you are weak. You are a disgrace to the main branch of this family. However, you have a chance to get past this. If you are promoted to Chunin at the next exam, you will surpass the prodigy of the branch family, your cousin Neji. You must defeat him, or you will no longer be my daughter. You will be a failure. Hinata was shaking. Her father had never threatened her with being disowned before. Neji was a prodigy. How can she ever hope to defeat him if she was disowned? She will be given the Cage Bird seal. And Naruto, she will be forbidden to use the freedom that she have right now. And she couldn't see him except for missions. Yet she kept herself. She kept herself from breaking down. As he told her she was dismissed, she ran to her room. As she cried, she stayed there for a long while, until there was a knock. As she opened it, wiping away her remnants of tears, as there was a branch member standing there. As she told Hinata that she was called, Hinata arrived to see. She just threw herself in his arms, as Naruto held her. Hinata-chan, what's wrong? I'm gonna be disowned, she said. As Naruto blinked several times in surprise, as he used his hand to wipe away her tears, as he just hugged her and held on to her, as she cried on his shoulder, as he held her until she cried. Once she was done, she took his hand, as she brought him. She locked the door. The moment she was inside, she kissed him. As Hinata did not hold back at all, she kissed him rather heftily, as Naruto returned it back with passion, as she started to caress his whisker marks, as she sat right on his waist, as the both of them made out, as the both of them broke apart, gasping for some air. As she was calm now, she had calmed down a lot, as Naruto held her by the face, gently his hand stroking her cheek. What happened, he said. She explained to him what happened, but she saw his look turn determined. Hinata-chan, if that's the case, then that means you have to train harder, he said. I promise by the time I'm done with you, you'll be able to beat him. But don't you have missions, she asked sadly. Actually no, that's what I came here to talk to you about, he said. For the moment, even though I'm not actually a Jonin, but the Hokage seem to think I'll make a good one. I will be serving as Team 8 temporary, replacement Jonin. Hinata was surprised. She knew that Naruto was strong, after all he beat Zabuza, but still. Jonin level. Naruto, that's great, she said, as she gave him a hug in congratulations. But if you're a Jonin sensei, would you have to train Kiba and Shino as well? Of course. But you can learn my taijutsu style. Combined with your Jayugen, I'm sure that you can kick Neji's butt. As his determination was so infectious, she leaned in once again, this time not holding back. But before anything could escalate, there was a knock. Hinata got off Naruto as she sat down. Come in, she said. Hayashi stepped inside. As he looked at Naruto, this was not the first time he was here. So Hayashi turned his head. Naruto, it is time for Hinata's practice. You may now leave. As Naruto placed down a note on Hinata's table, as he said his goodbyes and left. Time skip. As Naruto knocked on the door of the Inazaka household. As Kiba opened the door with Akamaru on his head. Oh, hey Naruto, what's up? That's Naruto sensei to you, said Naruto. Huh, good one. You may be higher up there in rank, but you sure aren't my sensei. As Naruto handed Kiba one of two remaining notes. As Kiba read over the note that was written by the Hokage, making Naruto a sensei who had full authority over him. Alira was in hospital and she wouldn't be recovering until a few weeks. As Kiba looked towards Naruto, who was smirking smugly. Well, this seemed legit. Did you visit Hinata first, though? Yeah? How do you know? Well, she seemed to have eaten you. As Naruto was confused. As Kiba pointed at his face. As Naruto looked into the glass and saw all the marks on his face from the kissing. As Kiba started to laugh at him. You're just jealous that you can't get any girls your age, said Naruto. What? Said Kiba. As Naruto gave him the Chunin exam paper. Decide by tomorrow. With that, he made his way off. Moments later. Hello, Shino. Hello, Naruto, said Shino. As Naruto handed him a note. Shino looked it over. Correction. I mean Naruto sensei, said Shino after he finished reading the note. As he had read the mission report, unlike Kiba, and he saw that Naruto could easily have defeated Zabuza, a feat that Alira, their sensei, had some trouble with at the first battle. So he understood the acceptance of Naruto becoming a sensei. He was strong enough. Not to mention it was his teamwork and help that got them to survive out there. As Naruto had Michuni informed, if you want to participate, fill this out by tomorrow, he said. Shino nodded, as Naruto appreciated no loud shouting at him, and the calmness as he bid his farewell and made his way off. 5 minutes later, Naruto was taking a shortcut through training grounds, as he heard steel clashing against posts, as Naruto saw a girl, about 14 or 13, as she was throwing kunais into a training post. A lot of them. She had 2 bun in her hair, as she was wearing a Chinese style of clothing. Well, the shirt. She had baggy green pants. It seemed to possess many scrolls, just like his, but his was black. As Naruto decided to have some fun, as he saw that the training posts were almost destroyed, and the amount of kunai she was putting in. As Naruto activated his bloodline, as he placed an explosive note on the kunai, as he hit the training posts. Boom! Several of the kunai were blasted in random direction as they came towards her. Naruto watched with agility as she caught each and every one of them before throwing one towards him. Naruto reached out and caught it before it could hit him, aiming right for his face. He jumped out of a tree as he whistled. The girl looked at him as she noticed 3 things. He was younger than her, it seems. Konoha headband, and he was wearing a Chunin vest. Who are you? As Naruto looked at her, she was cute, even cuter closer up. But he loved Hinata. Why did you attack me, she said. I didn't attack you, I was just testing something out. What, pray tell, she said. Sorry, can't tell. As he looked around the clearing, there were various weapons all around. It seems like she was fixated on Kinjutsu. You would happen to be Rock Lee's teammate, now would you? She was surprised, especially since she hadn't heard anything about the boy standing in front of her. Lee never spoke of him before. As Naruto unzipped his jacket and slipped into a fighting stance. Yes, I'm his teammate Tenten. Why do you look like you're ready to fight, she asked. Oh, whenever I met up with Lee, he always challenged me to a fight. I think it was normal for his teammates considering that Neji almost did the same thing when I first met him. Though, if you don't think that you're up for it, I understand. The girl jumped away a few feet as she pulled out a pair of kunai. So we're using weapons. Well, I can make do, said Naruto. Fire release. Flame staff jutsu. As Naruto created his 6-foot staff, Tenten looked on in awe. He was holding on to a fire staff that he created. And he was not burning himself. She had never heard of anything like that before. Not even a third has ever been seen doing something like that. And he was known as a professor, to know almost every knowledge on ninjutsu. And yet this boy was wielding a staff made of fire. Well, are we gonna get started or what, he said, as she leaped and threw 10 kunais down towards him, as Naruto performed one of his new techniques. Wind style. Flame staff shield, he said, as Naruto pulsed wind chakra, as he spun the fire staff. It created a vacuum, a shield that deflected the kunai, but also it redirected with the wind, and they were incredibly hot. Tenten had to leap away as they pelted the tree. They ripped right through the bark, as Naruto flashed to one-handed seals. Fire style. Flame orb charge, he said, as he spun the staff. It twists into a ball made of pure flames. Tenten had to leap as the thing decimated the ground, making a rather large crater. As Tenten ran towards him, as she attacked him with a sword, as Naruto ducked and twists. Before he picked up one of her kunais at the side that was still hot, but he grabbed it and blocked her attack as metal clashed against metal. As Tenten smirked as she brought her leg and knocked his leg together, causing him to trip. She then slammed a kick into his stomach, but he moved away. It was then that she felt something right above her butt. Something hit her as she felt her legs shake before she fell. She couldn't feel her legs as Naruto walked around to the front of her as he crouched down. I was expecting more of a chance from Lee teammate. Usually, he give me a workout when I take my weights off. You wear weights. Well, that will explain why you're so fast. Next time, why don't we fight like how I fight with Lee, with your weights on? Well, they are on, said Naruto. Her mouth dropped at that. His weights are on and yet he's so fast. You're lucky and tired, she said. Next time, you won't get so lucky. But I had to admit, you're pretty good, she said. Especially on taijutsu, it seems. As Naruto chuckled, no, taijutsu is actually my weak point. I'm a ninjutsu user, but my specialty is really fuinjutsu. My genjutsu and kenjutsu aren't bad either. Wait, fuinjutsu? You study seals? Yeah, they're really interesting, said Naruto. Hey, do you have any idea on better storage scrolls? These things don't hold as much as I want. As a chit chat happened for a while. Wait, how do you get so much of these weapons anyhow? Oh, simple. My family own a weapons store in the center of town. I'm surprised you don't know of it. Well, you don't seem like a person that will often use weapons when you have those staff of yours. Yeah, I guess I don't restock that often, said Naruto. Hey, have a question. Would you buy something if it's in a good condition? I suppose, why? Well, I have something that I don't want, and I guess I could sell it. I mean, I have no use for it. As Naruto pulled out the scroll and unsealed Zabuza's second sword, Sealer. It was beautiful, 6 feet long, 5 feet of blade, 1 foot of handle. It had a surrogate edge on one side, pointing down. So, how much could I sell this to you for, said Naruto. Well, I couldn't buy it off you now. You had to follow me to the shop. It's only a bit after 5 now, and I don't think he has closed up yet. Sure, I'll help you pick this stuff up, said Naruto. 15 minutes later, the place was filled with weapons. A lot. All kinds that he's never seen before. Unique curving blades. Strange blades that would be a hindrance more to him. But still, there was a lot of weapons. As Naruto placed the blade on the counter, in front of her father, how much can I get for this? Said Naruto with a smile. The man froze as he looked at his blade. As he looked at the name on it. This was a legendary blade, brought into his store by Sarutobi Uzumaki Naruto. He knew the boy. So, how about it, Aikana? Said Naruto. Naruto, you do realize that you just propped a legendary sword in front of me. Sorry to tell you, no one has ever sold a sword like this before. So there's no price for the thing. Where did you get it anyway? Off the corpse of a dead Zabuza Mamakai. He asked me to make it find a new home. So I have no use for it, so it wouldn't be good for me to just, well, keep it all sealed away. Wait, you killed Zabuza Mamakai? The demon of the mist? Yeah. The bastard attacked Hinata. Well, I guess I went a bit overboard. Well, Naruto didn't kill him technically, but if he hadn't stopped by Gato, showing himself, Zabuza would have been dead same way, as he was unable to move. As Tenten narrowed her eyes hearing that, as she wondered if he was with Hinata. Why did the good ones have to be taken? He was perfect. He was studying the art of Fuinjutsu. He also knew Kinjutsu. He was perfect. Hinata, huh? The man said. You getting some candy? Oh, nothing like that, said Naruto, as he blushed a bit. You didn't tell me that you have a cute daughter, though. Why are you so curious, womanizer? The man said. You thinking about getting a second girlfriend? Oh, no. I'm good with what I got, thank you. So, what can we do with this sword, he said. Well, buying it may be an issue. I heard rumors that this sword picks its user. Have you tried channeling chakra into it? Not really, said Naruto as he picked it up. As he channeled some chakra into it, boom! He was thrown back as he crashed on the ground. As Naruto rubbed back of his head, Aikana, I have to say it doesn't like me, he said. I know you don't use chakra much. So how about letting Tenten try? Maybe she's lucky. Tenten was surprised by the comment. She shrugged as she picked the weapon up, as she braced herself just in case. As Naruto stood behind her, was he gonna catch her if she fall? As she waited, but it did not blow her back. As she felt her chakra flowing through her and into the blade, she heard a gasp. As she opened her eyes, the sword was cracked. Did she break it? But it broke away to show a new blade. It was now about 4 feet long, 3 feet of blade and 1 foot handle. The handle was completely black, and so was the hilt. However, protruding from the hilt was a strange ice blue. Straight up the middle was a red streak that stopped right at the tip. Engraved in the hilt was one word, Ice Flame. As Naruto looked at it with awe, looked like it liked Tenten, he said. Tell you what, I'll give it to you for free, since no one else can probably use it. Swords aren't really my thing anyway, so no harm done. I cannot look towards Naruto after the statement. Tenten placed on the sword as she frowned. As she looked towards Naruto, let's talk, she said. As she looked towards her father, telling him not to follow with a simple look. As she dragged Naruto away, Naruto was confused what was going on. As she brought him to one of the back room. As Naruto was confused, it became rather shocking when she started to undo her shirt. He's mine now, she thought to herself. He was a Kinjutsu user, a damn good one. He was about her age. He was handsome, and he just gave her a legendary blade. He was mine now, she thought to herself, as she was wearing her black shirt underneath. She hugged him, pressing up against him rather tight, as she locked her lips with his. As Naruto's mind was going to overdrive, he loved Hinata. Why wasn't he moving? Why was this happening? As she sat down on top of him, and his body started to react in a rather negative way. Well, not negative, but not something that he wanted. As Naruto had to push her back. Tenten, I just met you, he said. I won't lie, you're beautiful. And certainly anyone that end up with you is an amazing lucky guy. But I'm not him, said Naruto. I'm with someone already. This was a mistake. I'm sorry. I have to go. I'll see you around, he said. Maybe as friends, but I can't do this. As Naruto left, he didn't know what the hell just take over him. Why he waited for so long to push her apart? As he cleaned up his face and walked out as dignified as he could, Tenten on the other hand was sad. As he was everything that she ever wanted. Not use these kind of things. She put herself out there in a rather, well, she kind of pushed it a bit too far, but still. She thought that it would work. But she wasn't done, she wouldn't stop. He will be hers. It will be a perfect match, she thought to herself. Time skip. Later that evening. Good. Now that you're all here, I may as well tell you what this is all about. Harrison addressed the council. There's a living relative of the fourth Hokage. The room was silence as they all looked towards Harrison. Naruto, Uzumaki Namikaze. He's the son of the Hokage. He had sealed the Kyuubi into his own child, not willing to ask anyone else for a sacrifice like that. Naruto was the only choice, and he has figured this out. When he becomes a Jonin, we must reinstate the clan. For one of the fourth Hokage last requests, the council was split about this. Most of the people that disliked Naruto for the Kyuubi was surprised, having assumed that there was some type of relationship, seeing that they look similar, but his son? He also has a unique bloodline, possibly more powerful than even a Sharingan. It does not yet have a name, but it has the ability to project seals onto objects. With his knowledge of seals, if he was somehow able to learn the Harashin, he would be unstoppable. The council became a full-blown uproar, some of them against his idea. He would be a threat to us all. If the Kyuubi was somehow able to take control, he would kill us all. But many others didn't think that way. Enough, Hirzen said, as they all went quiet. For one thing, I believe that you're all aware of the clan rule. If a clan is falling beyond certain numbers, or if there's a last remaining member, that person shall have at least a maximum number of 4 wife to repopulate his clan. When Naruto become a Jonin, we can bring this up again. However, until then, everything that was said today is to remain a secret. The knowledge of his bloodline will be protected as well. The only thing I'll reveal in his file is what he chose to name it. This changed a lot. Naruto was related to Minato, and he possessed a bloodline that seemed, well, impossible. And if he was able to learn certain techniques, the Harashin included, to be able to project his seal, and not even have to throw a kunai, well, that was a lot. But these people, only a few of them, didn't like Naruto that much. For the rest of the village, they liked him. So this wouldn't change much. Only these people idea. Later that night, Naruto didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. As he jumped out of bed, he was having a dream with both Tenten and Hinata. What Tenten did surprised him, and it still had him confused. What the hell was he supposed to tell Hinata tomorrow? Should I tell her? She would probably be angry at me. I don't want to lose her. Damn it, as he banged his head on the pillow. What am I supposed to do? This just got him so conflicted, and why? Why couldn't he stop thinking about Tenten either? He cursed his mind. But guys, the BN subs right here. If you want to see the next portion, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share to all of your friends in your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto had the deadliest bloodline over in Anime King 3, and check out that and enjoy. And also over in Anime King 2, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto rewrote the past, so go ahead and check out that and enjoy as well guys. And remember, for anyone this is the first time to hear my voice, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Making family. And thank you for all for your help and your support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be playing talking about to all of you. So yeah, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace.